I apologise for the delay in the latest blog, but I'm finally getting there. I've got my arse into gear and I'm doing it, so bear with me. You're joining me today on a syndicate that I recently joined shortly after the first instalment of Colwick. Basically, after coming back about a week later, after coming back from Colwick, that session ended. My place was offered on here, so I've jumped at the chance. I bit the guy's hand off and I've done it and I've jumped on it. So that's why I haven't been active, and with the poor weather as well, it's been difficult to get on due to flooding. And I was actually flooded off on one session. Actually woke up and the lake was just about to come into full flood, so I had to leave pretty sharpish. Within the hour where I was fishing, the peg was actually well underwater, so that was a quite scary experience. So yeah, I haven't really been back since then. Weather's picked up. Obviously I've been around for a little look, noticed the water's come back down, the weather's up, and I just think now would be a good time to start. So yeah, that's where we are. A few weeks prior to that, obviously in the in-between, I've been fishing a club water called Prada Darby. Quite a few of you may have heard of it and may actually be on the ticket. I've been fishing on the lake called Grimshaws. It's a nice little water. It's good for a bite when the conditions are hard, and it's somewhere that I've always loved to fish in the spring. It's just when everywhere else, well, say spring, sort of the tail end of the winter, when things are still sort of locked up hard, I find that place can be good for a bite or two. So that's what I've been doing. I've had some really nice scaly fish. Really enjoyed my time on there, to be honest with you. It's made a bit of a change from the usual fishing where it's sort of 10 fish a year to sort of 10 fish every couple of weeks. So yeah, it's been really pleasant, really enjoyed that. Made a few new friends along the way and really enjoyed my time. Just been really grateful for the fish that I've been having and the general time I've been having as well. So it's made a bit of a change for me. It's a nice bit of confidence for the year in front, so I know what I'm doing is right. But yeah, to the place that I'm on, I've got to be cagey about what I say, how I present it over the internet, and general recording here. It is a no publicity water, so I have got to be very careful about what I'm doing. Obviously I can't tell you the name or where it is. I can tell you roughly it's in Staffordshire, but that is as far as I can go. So we are still in the Midlands. I've not gone south yet. So yeah. But the lake itself, we're up to about, I think it's between 20 and 25 acres. Big expanse of water. Absolutely beautiful place. It's fantastic. It's just your typical gravel pit really, other than the fact it's sort of only 6 foot deep most of the way across. A bit deeper up this end that's behind me. I think you've got depths in excess of 15-16 feet in certain areas, but I know generally this area is a lot shallower, sort of averaging around 6. The topography of the lake, it's like an egg box, pretty much typical gravel pit. But yeah, it's just a stunning place to be. I mean, it's now everything's started to come out and the trees are going green and spring's well and truly here. It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I'm really glad to be here now. I'm really enjoying my time while I've been here this morning. But yeah, stock wise, it is a relatively fresh syndicate. The lake's been here for quite a few years, but actual open fishing has only been allowed for the last 3. I think the syndicate have had it for 4. The first year I think the syndicate leaders only were fishing, with the odd exception, just to sort of try and get a rough idea and let the stock grow without too much disturbance. So they've stocked it. I can't remember the exact figures now. I think we're roughly between 75 to 100 fish, all sort of mid-double. And from what I've been made aware of, they are coming through really well. So that's a real nice thing to know. Original stock to the lake is a bit unsure, it's a bit iffy. The lake record at the moment stands at 32. The guy was stalking at the time and only had his Avon set of scales with him, which bottomed out at 32. So undoubtedly it might have gone bigger. From what he was saying, needle went straight to the bar and that was that. But he classes it as 32, so that's what we'll go with. So that's sort of a rough idea of the size that's in here. However, when he caught this fish, there was a big mirror that, Christ, I thought that was a fish then, that dwarfed this common. And it was absolutely dwarfed it from what I've been told. So we do know that there is bigger. Like I say, in regards to the fishing, there's no one on. It doesn't get that much pressure at all. So it's and the size and stock of the water, from what I've told, the fish are very nomadic in here, and shows are few and far between. So it is a difficult water. It is going to take some getting used to, and there is going to be a lot of blanks. Just as pretty much what comes standard with big pit fishing, a lot of it is sitting on your hands with not a lot to go off. So I'm just playing it by ear, and there we go. But from when I rocked up this morning, I've done a few laps of the lake, and the fish were roughly where I thought they'd be, in that general area. I've just had something clicking in the back of my mind. Sometimes you do, and your chest hair start tingling and your spidey senses are up, and that's the general area that they were. So I've waited for the feeding spell to finish, let the fish move out, and then I've further investigated the area. I have recently purchased some underwater footage, underwater equipment, one being the fish spy after a friend on Grimshaw actually. He got his out and we both had a play with it, and I couldn't believe the quality of this piece of equipment. It is absolutely brilliant, and no doubt that'll be a massive part of my angling for many moons to come. I'm not going to use it for fish finding, as I think it takes a lot of the sport out, but I am using it to double check the spots. That is an unpleasant sound. Seagulls, I don't miss that. Yeah, so I've gone over, checked the spot where they were, and there is a bright, glowing, polished gravel bar pretty much on top of where they were, well, pretty much underneath where they were showing. So I've gone straight on it. I'm 90% sure that that is where they were feeding. So I've gone straight on top of that. Just gone for pretty much bog standard rig. Gone with a leg clip setup with the quarter safe zone leader in clear. Just fish with a standard, but pretty much standard blowback rig on soft coated braid. So nothing extravagant. Bait wise, I've just put a little 14mm SAE baits sweet nectar on, topped with a piece of quarter popcorn and then just a single grain of popcorn on the other rod. That come in revelations to some footage that we were watching, funny enough, on the fish spy. But yeah, I'll come to that a bit later on, of what we actually found. But yeah, I've gone over it with roughly a third of a bucket spod mix. I'm just going for a pretty simple, nothing mad. Hemp, crushed and chopped up boilies, so I've chopped them again to try and keep everything small, so they don't get too preoccupied with the hemp and sweet corn. It's dead simple. And then I've gone in with my own liquid nut mix, just sort of try and give it a bit more of an edge, get some particles floating around and general liquids up and down the water column, just try and maximise as much attraction as I can get. So yeah, that's all I've done. That was 10-11 o'clock. The rods have been in the water a few hours now. I have seen fish move past that general area. They've come around the front of this scrub island that's out in front of me that I'm fishing next to. They've come out sort of across and then it's sort of up in that direction. So yeah, I know they're passing through and they will be going over the bait, so it's just a case of time now of them wanting to feed and being over the top of it at the time. So I think I'm going to sit it out for the next few days, just enjoy the weather and just watch the water and see what happens. But yeah, hopefully I'm confident of a morning bite. Not so much this evening as all the commotion with the fish spy and the spomming. I think that might have pushed them out of the area temporarily. So I think it could be my next chance will be in the morning, I think, at first light, for them to catch that morning's feeding spell. So I'm going to leave you there. Hopefully I can catch up with you again soon, with a fish, hopefully. But yeah, I'll leave you there. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Last night we ended up having a bit of rain, bit of a storm, thunder and lightning. Yeah, pretty nasty mix up, to be honest with you. So yeah, it was late when I woke up. I ended up having to drop the front on as well. So because the rain started picking up and the wind really picked up as well, and I was facing straight into the wind. I didn't really fancy turning the brolly around in the right in the crack of night. So I thought, sorry, I'm going to put the front on. Save myself the aggro, but no, the wind sort of kept prevailing, and yeah, it got quite nasty. So yeah, it was about 3:30 when I dropped off to sleep. So that was a rough one. I wanted to be up at first light, and that just didn't happen, unfortunately. But there we go. But anyway, it's on to brighter things. As I say, this morning it didn't happen. Whether anything was out there or not at first light, honestly don't know. I don't think it was. So I opted for the move. I waited till I thought bite time had well and truly gone. So that finished. I then went and spoke to a couple of guys that were fishing pretty much directly behind the camera now on the other side. Yeah, they'd seen one or two showing around the top. So I thought, sod it, I went to shop, picked up some fags, a couple of beers for tonight. And yeah, as soon as I got back, I packed up and went on the move. And I went just to your left, the next bay along. I've seen a few fish showing, well, a few cruising underneath the surface. I think one of the bigger ones as well. So I sort of hung around in there for maybe an hour and a half, sat in the tree watching, and then moved into the swim that I'm in now. Well, I say moved, I was just walking at this point. I'd sort of left my barrow around the corner in that next swim. And seen a few moving around in this one. So I got the fish spy out, had a quick look about. I was happy with the bottom here and further down as well. So I put a lot of, well, say bait, I probably put, I don't know, 40-50 baits on each spot, and then left it for the day. So I went a bit of stalking further round, sort of that direction-ish. There's an outlet. It's really shallow. Obviously the wind's been absolutely hacking up there, which it's been quite... The wind hasn't been very strong the past couple of days. It's almost been like a mill pond. So I think that wind has pushed some of the fish up that end. And I spotted one that was feeding. I actually spotted the big one of the big mirrors in there. So I hightailed it back to the car. Got my snag line because it is very snaggy up there. I think trying to attempt it with £12 line, what was on the reels, was might have been a bit stupid, to be honest. So when I grabbed my snag line, £20 caught a touchdown. So really like the stiffness. Really like the no stretch aspect of it. So I can feel everything. Just think it's brilliant for snag fishing. and it's like tow rope, it ain't breaking. So I opted to go for that. Went back, fetched my barra, got the spare spools on my reels, tied myself up a little rig, really simple, called Continental. It's not as popular as it used to be now, but I just wanted something that was rock solid. They are absolutely bulletproof hooks, you're not snapping one of those. So I went for that, supple braid, dark matter, straight through, just straight on the head, not rig basically. Went straight out with that, so just crumbled a few bullies up in my hand, straight over the top when the fish moved out. Managed to get a rig out, and within 5 minutes it had torn off with this little beauty. So yeah, I was absolutely buzzing about that. It wasn't the big one, which was a bit disappointing, but when I seen that rod take off, Christ, I thought my arsehole was going to prolapse. Yeah, my part was really in my mouth, but nevertheless, it's absolutely fantastic to open the account so early on as well, sort of in the campaign. So I was absolutely buzzing about that. I mean, my legs were shaking, I could barely contain myself. That little scream, I was absolutely buzzing, fantastic. Irregardless of size, I was just so happy to finally open it, well, say finally, to open the account. I was absolutely buzzing. So yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. Yeah, can't really say much more than that. So I've come back round. Well, I've missed another opportunity as well, a little bit further round. Thought if I've had one, I'm going to try for another. So I left that spot alone, went a bit further round, and I found some feed in the edge. The line tightened up, rod tip went, but that was it. As soon as I struck into it, there was nothing there. So I think I got done there. I sat it out for about another 45 minutes and nothing happened. So it was getting late by then. So I thought, right, okay, I'm coming back round to my baited spots, settle here for the night. So I've literally just got one on the island, little scrub island. Got one bit further to the right down the margin, just on the point of the reeds. And then I've actually seen a fish show twice now over the spot, hence the reason the rod's on the floor, and went for that. So I've been daft not to, just cast straight quite far past it and reel back into it because I didn't want to spook it. I've really come to realise that they are very, very spooky on here. They're casting and leads hitting the water, so yeah, that hasn't happened. I'm actually going to have to do that pretty sharpish because it's getting dark now, and I need to get my waders to get that get the rig on the right hand spot. But no, nothing's materialised off that. I'm quite surprised, to be honest, but I hope. One of them. So yeah, feeling confident tonight. I know this fish been in and out of the bay all day. I'm quite confident that something will materialise tonight or in the morning. Going to bed feeling really good about it, so yeah. I'm going to leave you there anyway, and I'll catch up with you again in the morning. I'm going to get a few beers down my neck. I'm going to get my burgers on the go, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. So the morning's been and gone. I was up at first light. There was signs of fish, however I think that they were bream. I said I was feeling quite confident last night. Not long after I turned the camera off, there was a fish shown on the end of the island, and there was a few shows out in this water, and it sounded like there's a few more shows. There's a hell of a lot of activity, sort of pretty much. It sounded like it was in the general direction of behind the camera. and that was a hell of a lot of activity. I mean, that was about 11:30, 12 o'clock, and that went on for a good few hours. Bosh after bosh after bosh. It wasn't birds, hands down. It wasn't birds. I could hear the tail slapping, and that unmistakable sound, sorry, of a bosh. So it's what now? 10 o'clock. I think the chance of a bite's gone in this spot. As you can see, my rods are out. I'm gonna move back to where I caught that fish while I was stalking yesterday. As far as I know, from what I've been told, there is one of the bigger mirrors is a resident of that bay. It's been seen near enough. Every sighting of it that's been seen has come from that bay, including myself yesterday. So I think with the wind been pushing up there, and after the signs of activity last night moving in that general direction, I think my best chance, because it's my last night tonight, is to move into that area. So I'm going to get myself packed up, get round there. I'm going to get the fish spy in as quietly as I can, and just have a quick look at the bottom. There's supposed to be a gravel bar, or a big gravel patch, sort of bang in the middle. I'm trying to think how to explain it now. There's sort of a bay that comes down the back channel where I caught a fish. Let's go like that. So you've got the channel that runs up, which is that top end of the lake. That runs out onto a finger, and this bay where I caught a fish yesterday, and it comes out and around on another finger, and then we come into this main body of water. Sort of in between the two fingers, there's supposed to be a gravel bar. So I'm going to stick the what's it out and have a look, see if I can find it, and just have a look, just to see if it looks like it's been fed on, because the wind has been hacking up there. Obviously I had that fish yesterday, so I think, and after listening to last night, I think my best chance is up there. So that's where I'm going to go. I'll catch up with you guys a bit later.
Nothing compares, no worries.
Time you see me. I spent a few hours where I said I was going to spend. Moved up there, spent a good 6 5-6 hours up there, and I just felt like it should have happened. Yeah, I just got a feeling that if anything was going to happen, it was going to happen by that point. So I got off my arse, come back around where I am now, and went straight up the watchtower. Now I spent a good probably 15-20 minutes. I weren't quite sure if there'd be anything still here, and I just caught a glimpse just underneath my tree, well, underneath the actual tower itself. I say tower, it's just a ladder and a tree. Yeah, just caught a glimpse. I was seeing something move, so I paid a bit more attention to that area. Lo and behold, just seeing the back of maybe a foot underwater, just in view. The water's still quite murky from the flooding, and it was just in view. And then another one come past, and another one, and then another one, and then one stuck its head out just off the scrub island, and then a couple of minutes later, one off the little snag that's to the right. That was good enough for me. So I went back, fetched my gear, and just come straight round here. I just sat and watched for another few minutes, and they were still in the area. So I just started pulting in 1 or 2 baits. That was boiling. Yeah, so I just started pulting in 1 or 2 baits, boilies, just to sort of try and move them off slowly so the lead didn't scare them off when it went in. So once I'd sort of gone back up the tree and seen that we were a little bit further out, I put a few more on, maybe put about 30 baits, and that was it. The rod went out, obviously I've had to wade out. And I went one just sort of in between the 2 islands, same again 30-40 baits, and then put the rod on it. And within, I'll be back in a minute, within 10 minutes the rod had gone steaming off, and I'm fishing a locked up clutch as well because of the snags. Yeah, and it just took off sort of halfway through, a few minutes in, really giving me the runabout, just plodding along. No doubt it was a big fish. Kept breaking the surface, I could see all the water dispersing around it from where it was kicking. Yeah, it was a big fish. And that was when it made a beeline for the snag, so I thought, right, okay, we'll give you a bit of beef. And as I turned in, tried to sort of give it the beans, the hook just pulled. And I can't say anything more than I'm absolutely devastated. I did actually come and sit and have a little cry. Still a bit grieving a bit now, but no, happens. Start fishing. No, I've bounced back. I've decided to stop the night in the area. I think I've seen 1 or 2 more. There's one shown long, but yeah, because of the snags in the islands, I'm not prepared to swim. Not yet. Not this early on in the year. So no, I'm just hoping that there's a few still milling about, and maybe overnight the morning will bring something. I'm not too confident having lost that fish. Quite clearly the fish, it has put the fish off that were in the area. So I think they might have moved out into that open water. As I say, I've seen one bosh long. So yeah, some of it might happen, some of it might not, but all I can say is it's been a brilliant couple of days. There's another one long. It's a bit closer in than the last one. Yeah, so all I can say, it has been a brilliant few days. I've really enjoyed it, and it's given me an insight into the lake. I'm going to be spending a hell of a lot of time on here, maybe 3 to 4 nights a week. So yeah, everything now counts. I'm just so happy that my first real session hasn't been a complete disaster, and I've actually managed to put one on the bank and been done by 2. But so that's one thing I know, that I'm just getting the location right and the effort is paying off. That it will take baits when you put it out to them. So yeah, if you don't catch me in the morning, it's because I haven't caught and I've gone home grumpy. If you do, then it will be good news. So yeah, again, again, just want to say thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it. All the feedback has been fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal for the first vlog. And I really appreciate you guys. So thanks again. Stay tuned for the next one.